River levels are also very important, and spring floods are common. As the level of the Mobile River at the Berry Steam Plant begins to rise, muddy water can move in from upstate. If the level rises over 6 feet, you'll have to start fishing the back ends of the creeks. Levels over 9 feet can muddy up just about everything. Check out usgs.gov for more information. Here are some tactics that can work to help you catch more bass, even in the middle of the day.
There he is. You know, the phone ringing always brings in a fish. It's a guarantee. We're bass fishing today on Fox 10 Outdoors. This particular fish hit a spinnerbait, and this is a different kind of spinnerbait. It's really good for the Delta because it's a Kako minnow, a grub, with a little Hildebrandt spinner on the top. It's a number 4 arm with a 3.5 blade, and it'll really fool both the speckled trout, the green trout, and the redfish. A lot of folks call largemouth bass green trout. Fish about a half a pound. This particular bank here is exposed because the tide's low, but there's still some stuff underneath the water line there, back off the bank a little ways, some stumps and little pieces of grass and occasionally some mussel shells and things like that along this river bank, and that's what we're working here for bass today. The reason why they call these things crankbaits is because you simply cast them and crank them back in. As you crank it, the bait has a lip on it and it dives and it brings it down into the deeper depth. The faster you reel, the deeper it goes. All right. Another little bass here on the Mobile Delta today. A real pretty day. You know, sometimes in the middle of the day when the trout and the redfish aren't biting, you can always beat the banks and catch a few bass. This particular bait hit an old standby Mobile favorite. This particular crankbait is called a Bandit Mistake. It's got red on one side and yellow on the other. It came through the machine as a mistake one day, and a guy tried it and it worked, and ever since then it's been real popular. It's a real bright color, works real good in the off-colored waters here across the Gulf Coast.
Bass tournaments are fun for anglers of all ages. Here are the scenes as we take you to this year's Jim Nolfi Young Anglers Tournament.
Look at all these boats coming in here. Steel Creek Marina.
This year's tournament was a huge success. Nice weather brought out hundreds of young anglers. Each participant had an opportunity to win a gift certificate or a prize at the end of the day. A large percentage of the anglers caught their 3-fish limit. There were many limits in the 4-pound range.
$4.98.
$4.98. That may be the lunker of the day.
The largest fish was this 4.98 monster Delta bass caught by Chandler Carpenter.
1901.
There's also a big fish category for the biggest fish that is not a bass. We saw several good size freshwater drum and grinnell, but the largest fish was a 19-pound blue catfish that hit a Berkeley Gulp worm. Today's target is the largemouth bass. Delta largemouth bass face more intense environmental challenges compared to fish raised on ponds and lakes. Salinity levels and changes in water clarity both affect the fish. Bass also have to compete with many other species, including inshore saltwater fish. There are also predators like gar, grinnell, and alligators. Recent droughts and hurricanes have had an especially hard impact on bass populations, but this year's spring flooding may have the population on the rebound. Most Delta bass are 1 to 2 pounds in size. Any fish over 5 pounds is a lunker in this area.